Hi everybody, it's Tamara from Eyes, and I'm here with a very fun and very quick project to share with you. And what I really love about it is that you can use it more than one way. This is what we're going to make, really easy. And I used book pages because you know I like to use up my book pages from the books that I got. When you put it at the top like this, it can be a bookmark, and it comes off super easy, and it's easy to move around, and you can move it and put it at the bottom of your book page like that. And because we're going to have a couple of different layers, you've got several layers of pockets in here as well that you can use as a tuck spot. So, and at the bottom it can be a bookmark as well, but I would be more inclined to use it as a tuck when it's at the bottom. And this one also comes off super easy. So, let's get started. So I've got a couple of book pages here, and you're just going to fold, well, I like to fold from the top backwards to the bottom, and then this way I've got the text on this side. It's basically the bottom of the page, and it's right side up. So I'm going to do that with 2 pages because I want this to be nice and strong. Anytime I'm going to be using something for a tuck spot, I want it to be able to withstand a little a little bit of maneuvering. So I'm just going to clean up this edge a little bit from where I pulled it out. And I'm going to use some scallop scissors. You don't have to use scallop scissors. You can just use regular scissors and cut straight across. But I recently rediscovered my these big fat scallop scissors in my stash that I completely forgot I had. So now I'm using them all the time. And so now we're just going to cut. I've got both layers of pages here, one on top of another, and we're just going to cut about 45 degrees across to make a triangle. And again, I am not measuring anything. I'm just eyeballing it. And the reason you could do them separately if you happen to have duller scissors. It's just a matter of having to line up your cuts afterwards if you're using a scallop. So I'm just going to go across. Super easy. Line up my valley there. There we go. And that's it. Now what I'm going to do is put one inside of the other. And this is what gives me all my layers and the extra strength. And now I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and stitch across the folded edge at the top and the open edge on the side, and I'm going to leave this scalloped edge alone. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't like to sew, you can just glue along this edge on the open side. But I happen to like the look with the stitching. And of course, I think most people would know this, just like you would have separate paper scissors from your sewing scissors, you would change your needle and have a separate needle for paper than you would for sewing, because the instant you start sewing on paper, it dulls your needle right out, and then you can't use it for sewing anymore. So that's just a little tip for anybody who's new to sewing on paper. So I'm just going to go do that really quickly, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I just sewed around the 2 edges, and another quick tip is that when you're sewing on paper, you should make your stitches a little farther. The stitch length should be longer. So I usually go on my machine, which is a Euro Pro. I go to a 4 length. Which is what I would use if I was basting, basically. So you're using a basting. If you go too tight on your stitches, which I did at the top here because I forgot to change my stitch length, you run the risk of ripping your paper, basically. Okay, so anyways, are all stitched up. Now you just need to ink the edges a little bit. And it's a good idea to do it on both sides because both sides are going to be seen. You want to get right along that nice scalloped edge too. Now I'm going to show you, before we decorate it, that we have, obviously we're going to have several layers. So let's see here if I can open it up. So we've got one, two, and then there's a third layer here as well. There we go, 3. So you're going to have at least one layer is going to be filled with your book page, and then you'll have 2 layers that you can tuck things into if you want to. So I want to decorate this, and I know you think I'm going to go for my butterflies as usual, which I still could, but I grabbed some stickers I had in my stash that I have never used. And they're kind of a puffy sticker, which is probably why I've never used them. But they're kind of cute, so I'm just going to stick that right on there. There we go, quick and easy. They're kind of a matte finish, so they don't look too silly. You see that? It's kind of cute. And I'll put something on the back side as well. I don't know, how about this one? The nice thing if you use flowers, see when you use a butterfly, it's got a right way up. I can't suddenly turn it around and use it on the bottom of my, well I can, I mean you could have an upside down butterfly, but if you have a flower on at least one side, then you can, it can go this way or it can go this way. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so let's just find an empty page here and we'll stick it on. In fact, I'll do it at the bottom of the page. There we go. That's cute. And I have a little tuck spot, so I had to make a couple of tags. And I'm already using some of the images from the books that I showed you recently, or hopefully I've posted that video by now. So I had a really nice book haul and got some great images from that. So that's in behind the first layer, and this one can tuck in on a separate layer and then they don't interfere. There we go. Ta-da! Alright, so I know I keep saying I'm almost done this journal, but I really am almost done. So my next video will probably be a flip through of this whole journal. So there you go. There's your little bookmark tuck spot. I hope you had fun, and I hope that gives you some ideas for ways to use up your book pages. And thank you very much for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.